Hello, Fightful Faithful. Welcome to another episode of Sour Graps. I'm your host, Alex Pulowski, and everything sucks. Kate, please tell them what we're doing.
What are we doing? We're talking about how everything sucks tonight on the NXT post show for October 3rd. We are in Octecker already, so get in your super chats and your humper chats at humperchats.com. Please leave a thumbs up on this video to help support us, help people find us in the algorithm. And also, we'll ask you to subscribe to Fightful Select, where, I don't know, there was news on this. Have you heard of the this Adam Copeland fella? Alex, are you with us?
Me?
Yeah.
I thought you were asking them. I've heard of Adam Copeland.
You're familiar with Adam Copeland. Well, you can read all about AEW backstage reactions to his debut at Wrestle Dream, which I was at because I had to see what they gave us live. But Alex, how quickly can an American Wrestle Dream become an American Nightmare?
Yeah.
Antonio Inoki would not have been proud of tonight's show.
No. No. It is good that you bring up Wrestle Dream.
To remind you that it's
simply
wonderful.
To remind me that wrestling can be good. To remind me that there is something out there that I can enjoy watching. And also, like, I have to go back to, like, the end of Raw last night and how optimistic I was for the future and how maybe, just maybe, even after most of No Mercy, like, well, not most, 40% of No Mercy was really great. And it had an amazing men's title match, and Tiffany Stratton showed out, like, how optimistic I was for the future. And then how a scant 48 hours later, I can just want to stop watching professional wrestling for the rest of my life and never miss it for a second. It is the highs and lows, Kate, of being a fan who then also, like, can't just take a friggin' break for a while, because this is also, like, how I along with my wife, put food on my daughter's plate. This is the life I've chosen. So I can't just, like, I'm gonna take a step back and not watch it anymore. Just cool off. Maybe I'll keep abreast of what happens on the shows and I'll drift back when I feel like it. No, I have to watch every show, and it's not good for my mental health or my blood pressure. Kate.
You know what, though? I honestly think, other than, like, New Japan's just back on fire. Like, it's great. It's a fantastic product right now, and they did so many great things and made so many great changes. But I do sincerely, I'd be lying if I said part of the reason I didn't fall so back in love with it is because I don't review it. Like, and it seems insane to watch more wrestling than we review already, but, like, that is legitimately a piece of it, because it's like, man, it feels like if both companies just have an off week, it's like, and not to mention ROH, my favorite product, is, like, as in the mud as NXT is. So it is tough, like, because the cycle moves so fast and there's so much wrestling on. Everything that felt awesome over the course of the past 72 hours to now feels like it gets wiped away. But because Championship Tuesday is next Tuesday, I have a feeling a lot of this isn't going to be sticking around. And some of what happened with what closed the show is, my white girl light is going bonkers. Is I think due to Mustafa Ali being released.
Right. Well, let's start with that. Mustafa Ali was going to win the NXT North American Championship. And then he was released. And I don't know, like, I gotta have the inside story on that one. I hope you're reporting on that, figuring that one out, Sean. I'm sure he is trying to anyway. I gotta know how Sean has a plan to Michaels, not Sean Ross Sapp. HBK has a plan to put the North American title on Mustafa Ali, the first title he will have won in this company after being employed by it for like 7 years. The first title he wins is coming down the pike, and He is fired before he even has the match for it. I just need to know what precipitated it. What was the thing? They said, "No, we got to fire you right now." And then also, it makes everything that has happened since through that lens of him being fired before he could finally hold a title in his hand that he had won. Because I know how badly he wanted that. It makes everything that's happened since then so heartbreaking in retrospect. The little tweet after Trick won, good for Trick, he deserves it.
Yep.
Like what a class act to say that, because he didn't have to say anything, but he said it. But you could tell that was said that was tweeted through gritted teeth.
Yeah.
If you can tweet something through gritted, it was tweeted through gritted tweets. It must have killed him.
Sure.
And it would have killed me if the plan was always to put the title on somebody at No Mercy and take it right back off of them, put it back on Dom 2 days later. I don't know. I honestly don't know if Mustafa Ali, if there would have been a rematch, if Mustafa Ali would have won the rematch, if he would be champion all the way through, through WrestleMania. I don't know.
So Fightful Select had reported that they had plans for Mustafa Ali through, I think, like March or April.
March.
So my guess
the plans
is
didn't need to be that he was the NXT North American champion.
No, but my guess is, come on, Alex, we know how this works. How often do they have a plan that wasn't derived 14 minutes before the show, right?
Sure.
Like,
no, I understand.
It felt like they were probably investing in that guy.
Yeah.
So I do think, I don't think it would have been a hot potato situation. I think they saw an opportunity to have this ping pong for the sake of the Carmelo story. But it does, I tweeted before the show started, I was like, man, NXT right now could have had Ilya Dragunov as your world champion and Mustafa Ali as your North American champion.
Yeah. It was just things we don't get.
And what's also frustrating is I can't sit here and give Dominik has looked better. And he was winning matches without interference.
Not anymore.
That's
Not anymore. Right back to the old
That's
bullshit.
what I'm trying to say is like you just negated the progress he made by going back to the same playbook. And we'll talk about that in the main event, but it's like the little credit that I do want to give him, I now can't even give him because you've now undercut all of that again.
Right, exactly.
Like it's maddening. It's absolutely maddening. And to do all that and not have Carmelo interfere. But we're gonna get to all of that.
How about pet peeve puns? Things you personally don't like. Everyone's asking me for puns. I don't know what puns, Kate. You come up with the puns.
You could do media scrum puns because
scrum puns.
I was there. You could do press puns. You could do press puns.
Journalism puns.
God, that's so boring and lame.
David G's in his first chat. The two of you bring so much joy to so many people. I don't feel like I'm doing that tonight. Congratulations, Kate, for having your Wessel dreams come true and for your great scrum questions. Congratulations, Alex, for being the second best NXT review host on Fightful. I'll take that.
Alex, they're gonna run it back.
Yeah, I know.
They're gonna run Danielson and ZSJ back.
I know. But we always knew that we're going to do that. Paul Elizabeth says
they're doing it in the most perfect way in the whole wide world. Go ahead.
Your dad says not everything sucks. With respect, sir. Not the SDS, Team Kalex, our super mod, the council, the sisters, Sir Normus, Alpha Bill, and certainly not the GOAT, JW Pringle. Tom LaValle says, happy October, SGS. Just remember, chin up, tits out, and while your tits are out, self-check your breasts. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Thank you, Tom.
If they don't make a breast cancer awareness Tony Storm, chin up, tits out, watch for the shoe shirts.
Yep.
Get on it, AEW.
Gotta do it. MD Spooko says, Minion 690069 is why Gargano is back in NXT. What? Back in NXT happened? What? He's not back in NXT. Back in WWE. Alpha Bill says, compliment Alex. I'm glad you tried your best. See, you're lying. I'm not trying my best now. Now I'm not trying my best anymore.
That's always been your downfall.
Yeah.
You're
Alpha
like,
Bill.
we do a terrible movie review podcast, and I
we
watched
do.
this movie 6 times. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, no.
Knock it off.
Alpha Bill says, ask your loved ones, how's your neck? Hashtag neck strong.
Neck health awareness.
Lieutenant Photo says, thank you for your service, Lieutenant Photo. Kate, were you the only one in the scrum room on Sunday?
I was not the only one in the scrum room. I did get handed the mic a lot, which was very cool of them.
No, we're not doing breast puns for breast cancer awareness.
No,
because I
don't
sorry.
trust wrestling fans at all.
Don't trust any of you. I wouldn't trust myself. So please no.
You know, first of all, we are not doing that, but I will say they were much more tasteful with the meat puns than I ever expected them to be.
That is true.
But
that
still
is true. That is true, but still no. Mr. Johnny Darling says, love the grunge discussion last week. Here's some grunge puns for y'all. Oh, this is good. Eddie Vader, Baron Corbin.
Baron Corbin is so good.
Bad motor finger poke of doom.
Very good. Very
Tegan
important album to me.
Tegan Knox's finisher, the outshiniest wizard. A few.
You know what? It's a pun free for all.
Yeah,
declare your category and
declare
send in your pun.
Start off with what the category is, and then give your pun. And we'll just read them all. It's a free for all. You know what it is? Because basically NXT is a free for all now. Everybody's going to be here next week. Just throwing people at the show next week, trying to beat AEW in the ratings. Just throw anything at the wall and see what sticks. Throw your puns at the wall. Throw your puns.
It's a pun battle royal.
That's good.
We're going to crown a winner at the end, and occasionally you're just going to hear that one got knocked out for no reason.
Right. Feud blow off is a rusty cage match. And then also, despite all my rage, I am still just Adam Hangman Page.
So bad, Christian Cage or Brian Cage. So many cages right there.
Oh, he's still. JW Pringle says, "Know what I hate? CM popcorn stuck in my teeth." There you go.
The worst.
And Pro Wrestling Podcast says, "Here scrums the pain."
Very good.
And Orion Ben 666 says, "Tony, incoming Alex storm." Yes, there's a storm brewing with me.
There's a storm.
Pro Wrestling Podcast says Alex makes some great points about Ali, but my friend Kate agrees to those points just as well, which makes you the best NXT reviewer on this website. Wow. And Meet Norma says, Kate, sup partner? Always good to see you, Alex. You're there. There you are. That's you. I watched Asuka instead of wrestling. How was it? Terrible. It wasn't, but it was. But it wasn't, but it was. That's NXT for you. Even when most of it is good, the rest of it is so bad.
Because it's incomprehensibly bad. Like
yes. Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's like so bad. And Booker T tonight. We'll talk about Booker, but to call Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne inexperienced.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Veda Scott is a free agent. Yep. I'm just saying.
Yep.
I'm just saying.
So Becky Lynch came out first.
Whoa.
She was in a sling last night. She's good now. She's not cleared to wrestle, but she's good, which is why she was holding her title aloft with the same hand, with the same shoulder that was in a sling last night. I don't know why they had to like she had stitches. She didn't have structural damage.
Yeah, that was weird. She had 11 stitches.
They had to prove that she was so injured she couldn't wrestle, so they put her in a sling for some reason last night. But tonight she's fine. Again, not cleared to compete, but she's okay. She had stitches. And she comes out and she cuts a promo about how she got cut. She'll be fine. Puts over Tiffany Stratton. Good, because she deserves it. And then I'm trying to find my next challenger here, which I think to myself, You already have a next challenger. It's Tegan Nox. It is incredibly presumptuous for you to be lining up challenges for a match that is 1, 2, 3 NXTs away from now. If you still haven't fought Tegan Nox yet. Thankfully, they have Tegan Nox show up later and be like, hey, by the way, don't forget about me. We all know Tegan Nox isn't beating Becky Lynch, but they should make it a possibility. For example, later they have people who are going to be involved in NXT next week who have title matches this Saturday at Fastlane. Guess what? They're not winning that championship on that particular night, because if they were, they wouldn't be coming to NXT. That's all I'm saying.
I find it genuinely hysterical. Like, in the true definition of hysteria.
Right.
Like, I might have had a hysterical episode that they are sending Cody Rhodes to try and go up against AEW.
Yep.
My goodness. But we'll talk about all that too.
Yeah.
I like they picked the right people to have the triple threat. I do feel like that. But we have to talk about the elephant in the room, which is that Roxanne Perez got booed.
We'll talk about that elephant in the room, and also this. Orion Ben says, tonight, no one can rip Alex for his views on open challenges in NXT and WWE, because what was that? Kiana, Cora, Blair, Gigi, JC, y'all asleep? If 3 people can come out and go, I want a title match. No, I do. No, I believe I deserve it the most. Why aren't all of you out there? I mean, obviously, you can't all be out there because that would be chaos. However, once you've set up the convention, you got to figure out reasons why other people. There are no heels that apparently Roxy's a heel now, but there are no heels that can come down. Wouldn't they all want to? Wouldn't they all want a piece of now injured Becky Lynch? I hate the convention of I'm having an open challenge. Only certain people show up. It just.
No, kayfabe, it doesn't work. But from like an actual who you're highlighting aspect, I think it's really good that I think Blair Davenport probably should have at least made a case, and then she could have gotten attacked.
No, because later she has to lose to a terrible schoolgirl roll up.
Yes, she does. But
God, I hate this show sometimes.
But I will say, for open challenges, this is the only opportunity to do face on face, heel on heel stuff, because it's just about the title. So I do like that. Roxanne desperately needs this. Lyra, there's a story there, right? So I like who they chose. I'll never like the convention, but I've resigned. There are things that you still get mad about that I've just resigned myself to, because I probably should get mad. I could probably burn a lot of calories if I just kept the same energy as you.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, it's so Roxanne comes out and gets booed.
Yeah, which of course she did, Alex, because they made her look like a dumb whiny little brat.
But I don't know.
I feel so bad for her, by the way.
Oh yeah, by the way,
nothing to do with her.
Doesn't deserve this at all. It is the booking that has made her look just
the most clear-cut babyface in the world. She is so easy to root for because of her personality, because of her age, because of her in-ring ability, because of her moveset, because of her size. She is a clear-cut, patented.
Yep.
Couldn't be any more clearly a babyface. I heard her get cheered over Willow Nightingale in ROH. No, over Willow, for the love of God.
She's a natural, perfect babyface, and they have put her into the ground with this ridiculous. Like, when everyone says, like, people are like, I saw people immediately. Oh, don't worry, Trick will get it. They'll figure out what Trick, and Trick will get his belt back. Really? Because Roxy still hasn't. Because I'm not holding my breath for Tiffany to ever get her belt back either. Like, it's
I think she might
they don't have a track record of that. The one they have is like Braun Breaker got his belt back from Dolph Ziggler. Like, and I guess Carmelo got his belt back from Cameron Grimes, but that wasn't something we were rooting for.
Yeah, I was going to say
at the time. But but baby faces don't get second chances and get their belts back very often. But Roxy, the terrible booking that has made her look, because they're not presenting whatever they're trying to do with the whole anxiety thing well. Sometimes she comes off as whiny and petulant, which is the opposite of what you want.
And then Alex, she had to go to a different place than she'd ever been before. It's just stale. And the other thing is, ideally, I'm very concerned about this with Roman Reigns on the main roster. Very concerned that he's just going to retire with the titles. Like more, I'm like, this guy's just going to retire. Like,
I predicted that like 6 months ago, by the way. I predicted that like 6 months ago.
No, you definitely did.
Yeah, so yeah.
You definitely did, but that combined with Sean's report about him just having Hulk Hogan power.
Yep.
If you lose a title, even though there wasn't a lot invested in Roxanne's reign, the ideal situation is either you move up or you move parallel, right? So you either move up to a higher title if you're like a mid-card title, or you become everything that got invested into you as a champion. You run parallel to the championship program. You are like right up there as someone who's a star. This is what worked with the 4 horsewomen. You could have 2 women holding the title, and you could have 2 women feeling like the star, or they could go off and do tag programs or whatever. With Roxanne, they did nothing. They had her off TV. They had her look pathetic in trying to get it back. They gave her this terrible storyline with the mental health stuff. And then they had her get into a decent program, but one that just never felt like her when she was like going to a deeper, darker place or whatever. Like, I don't think every wrestler needs, God, of all the wrestlers in the world, I have not seen Adam Cole have like a great, like that match he had with Jericho. I was like, this is just not the world Adam Cole belongs in.
Right.
Like, or like not every wrestler is suited for every single stipulation in the whole wide world. Like Roxanne should probably be wrestling typically like, I don't want to box anybody in, but like, I think her sweet spot where she shines the most is in just like a traditional wrestling match. Like not everyone has to have like these knockdown, drag out, whatevers. Like, just let them do what they do well. Zack Sabre Jr. is my favorite wrestler in the world right now. I don't want to see that guy in a death match. They tried that against Nick Gage. It sucked. I was not here for it. So, like, not everyone has to fulfill every single one of those things, right? And I just think with her, the boxes that they checked have been the wrong ones for a little bit. And I think she's one of the best women's wrestlers in the world, and that they've really booted it. So, to your point, yeah, it makes me nervous in that regard, but I'm excited for the potential matches that, like, I want to see Becky versus Lyra. I want to see Becky versus Roxanne. Like, let's go.
Right. So it's Indy wanting to get her title back she never lost. Roxanne wants her title back that she technically never lost. Although she's lost chances to get it back. Indy has not had those chances since she had to give it up. It was weird where, like, later Vic Joseph was like, Becky, you've had to relinquish a title. How does that feel? Do you have any regrets? She was pregnant, Vic. I don't know if you remember this, but she was pregnant.
Do you regret your child?
Do you regret having a kid? Do you regret, like, not? Do you regret having a child?
Tell me with Baby Row.
It's an incredibly different thing from, like, I got injured and I couldn't keep fighting, so I had to give the belt up, but I never got it back, as opposed to Becky, who's won multiple championships since, you know, and gave it up because she was pregnant. It's a weird thing. It's equivalency. Vic, I don't know if, like,
and said it on screen too. It's not like she got kayfabe written off. She was like, "Here, Asuka, you have this title. I'm gonna go be a mother."
Yeah.
So it's not like it's not even like in kayfabe. She doesn't have a kid.
Yeah, it's weird. So okay.
Everybody's just doing boob puns, by the way.
Yeah, they are. They're just doing it, and we're gonna have to read some of them because some of them are funny. We got.
You were so crazy
Lyra,
before we got on air. Now there's boob jokes.
We're gonna get back to the segments I'm very cranky about, and I will get back to being cranky. But for right now, Booby Lashley is very funny. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Alpha Bill, Booby Lashley is funny. So yes, I am for these 10 seconds. I am in a good mood because Booby Lashley.
Just remember it. Time is a construct. You can go back here anytime.
Because the almighty Booby Lashley. That. So.
Who still has never sent me a suit.
Right. I don't know. So we're going to get Becky basically books it. Roxanne versus Lyra versus Indy tonight. We get British Strong Style, who is never teamed together. That's why they have a tag team name. I don't know if you know this. Booker T was very adamant that Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate have never
tagged together. They are an inexperienced tag team.
Completely inexperienced. They have so much less experience than Gallus. They've never tagged together ever, which is why when Vic Joseph says in very close earshot of Booker T, back together, one night only, British Strong Style, and Booker's like, they don't have any experience. That's why they're going to lose this match. I don't know what kind of blackmail he has that he could show that he keeps his job doing this, where he could do other things. I don't know why it's got to be this,
There's like not knowing the product, and then there's being completely ignorant to the history of the featured wrestlers on your product. Like, what on earth?
Right. This was fun. It's good. It's awesome to see Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate.
Oh, it's so great,
tagging together.
Man.
It's like it's a thing that I need. At least for on a temporary basis, I need this in my life. They're so great together. So they beat Coffee and Wolfgang. They do a little combination version of the Tyler Driver. It's awesome. But then they're immediately beat down by Gallus afterwards. And Ridge Holland runs out to make the save. So we're definitely getting a 6-person tag. I thought we were going to get it. They were going to maybe hold it off until one of the nights of Halloween Havoc. But they'll probably just do it next week because everything is happening next week.
Of course it is.
Although I don't know if there's any room for like NXT talents because like John Cena is going to take up at least 20 minutes with his welcome to NXT promo. So
I just well, we'll talk about the whole card at the end, but
we will discuss.
You know how like how they were like, we don't view AEW as competition, and then they're like going head to head one night, and they're like, we are sending John Cena to NXT and Cody Rhodes. It's giving girl who doesn't care about her ex-boyfriend, but is going to everywhere they used to hang out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this was so much fun. The whole time I was like, you didn't need to ruin an entire tournament to get to this program. There are very easy ways to get to this program, but that aside, we're here now, right?
So this is one of several instances where you didn't even capitalize on the thing that happened. Like Noam Dar's retained the cup.
Yeah.
There's no Noam Dar segment tonight. Like later, I'm gonna blow a gasket over the fact that you had Braun Breaker lose because he was distracted by a Robert Stone crossbody, and then you never even brought up that loss. Like you basically had Baron Corbin vaguely refer to it like I put him down, only because he was distracted by a Robert Stone crossbody attempt.
And they're not going to do it next week either because it's going to be the John Cena show. So they're going to wait at best 3 weeks.
Yep.
I am upset.
Right.
Whenever Noam Dar is not on this program.
He was in the background of the watch party for the first round of the breakout tournament. They didn't have him put that dude in front of a microphone. What are you doing? Or here's the thing: have it be the Meta 3 up on top. Meta 4, all of them. Jakara Jackson scouting her second round opponent, Kalani Jordan, and have her like writing things down, and have Lash Legend with binoculars. Oh, I saw a really good thing there. You got to watch that. This is how am I better at this than all of you? You work there.
It should be illegal in the state of Florida and the country. It should be codified. Yep. It should be in our Constitution that if Noam Dar is on your screen,
yes,
if he's available at all,
yes,
he is in his fashion. And he has a microphone in his hand.
Yep.
And he's doing something to entertain me. At least until I get to join as the Meta 5.
Yep. So yeah. Yeah. Anyway. So there we go. We didn't. They gotta have Noam Dar, but you don't have Noam Dar. You don't have Noam Dar. No, I'm not doing anything.
The match was really good though. Octecker is off to a great start. Seeing them tag together is really fun. I forget how great Tyler Bate is in tag wrestling context, because we've been mostly seeing him in singles matches for this whole run. But he's just so smart and always knows how to pick his spots. And that combined driver at the end was just so great.
So great.
What a fun move.
I found Noam Dar
for a rookie tag team to
I know they
be pulling off.
They really gelled together.
Between
I did not think they'd ever be able to coexist.
No, Tyler, is it? Yeah, like they had no idea.
No, they met for each other for the first time tonight. I found Noam Dar, by the way.
You did?
Noam Dar figure.
I hope you can get the other Meta 3, and then I'll just send one of myself. And
how I'll get they have not, surprisingly, they have not yet made a Lash Legend figure.
No?
Or a Mensa figure or a Jakar Jackson figure.
I'll make one of myself.
No.
So that I can join.
It's on Amazon. Go to Amazon and look up Noam Dar. That's how I found it. Simple. Cheap too. Like $7. So, all right, why not? Ilya Dragunov.
That's enough to launch The Rock's whole career, Alex.
Yeah. Ilya Dragunov, you're really starting to tick me off, Caden, in the chat. I just want to let you know. You're really starting to mess with me here. This whole thing. I don't know what this thing you're doing with the trolling. It's just not. It's not a fun thing to me. So you can stop with that. Ilya Dragunov promo, looked resplendent in the suit with his amazing new title, and he is interrupted by Trick Williams, and they get to be best friends because they're both champions. Trick Williams is champion, of course, for about 90 more minutes. Then Carmelo comes out to be like, hey, I don't want to rain on everybody's parade. I just want to let you know, like, this is defending the title is very different than winning the title. You got your match versus Dom tonight. You know he's going to bring the rest of the Judgment Day. You know they're going to get involved. I want to be there for you to help you out. And Trick's like, thank you so much, but no thank you, because I am a dumb babyface, and I will take on Dominik with all 5 of his friends at ringside by myself, and I believe that I shall come out victorious because he's a dumb babyface.
Correct.
So, and it was kind of odd how like Dragunov started like being like, for a guy who would like lifted Hayes to his feet, shook his hand, and was like, we did this match. That was great. After the match, he was kind of catty to Carmelo tonight.
Oh no, I loved it though.
It was like, I don't understand why he like, I'm sorry, this promo is for champions only. And I was like, all right, you can't sit with us, is basically his energy.
Loved it.
Mean Girl Ilya Dragunov is a weird deal for me.
To me, it was a, I showed you your moment of respect. Now get out of here. Scram, go on.
Yep.
I'm the champion now. This is a champion summit. And I think it was also supposed to be a playing mind games with Trick and Carmelo. So no.
Yeah. He also shaved off his goatee, so he's very different now. He's a very different person now. He's back to being, he doesn't have the devilish goatee. He doesn't need it anymore. Then Dominik comes out, ruins everything, and we all hate Dominik. I think it's a consensus of literally everybody in the chat. We all hate Dominik. So
he's the worst.
We can move on.
Even when I try to give him credit for improving,
I know
they do something to ruin it.
Yep, exactly. So backstage later, Baron Corbin walks up to Dragunov and says that he put down young badass Braun Breaker. So he should get a title shot versus Dragunov. And I'm like, I was afraid of this. Like, the winner of the match between Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin should get a title match.
Sure.
But Baron Corbin shouldn't have won that match.
Correct.
The thing is I don't know.
I'll even go as far as to say if you wanted him to win the match, you could have sold me on it, but not with a flying crossbody from Robert Stone.
Yeah. No, I don't know. If you want to have Baron Corbin do something underhanded behind the ref's back and beat Baron Breaker, that's something he would absolutely do. Anyway. I don't see any end in sight. Next week is obviously a very special thing, and I don't believe it'll be like that forever. But I don't see any end in sight of we are going to bring people from the main roster to NXT for a while, have them hold a title, have them put over the young people by beating the young people, and they'll get a rub because they were in the ring with whoever it is. But because the ratings are so much better when main roster talent is on NXT. And the thing of it is that NXT, especially now, we're going to go through the background of all the ladies in the Breakout tournament. It is developmental. These people don't have any experience. So it is, I think, a disservice to the next generation to have all of the important spots on your developmental brand being taken up by mid-carders Becky Lynch is nobody bigger than Becky Lynch. So like that spectrum from Baron Corbin and Natty and Dana Brooke for a while, through Mustafa Ali, through Becky Lynch, and now next week in a special episode, literally everybody. It feels kind of like you're pushing the people who need the reps to like find themselves off to the side. And
I have mixed feelings on it because I feel like, my God, I would much rather watch Pete Dunne in NXT doing what he's doing here than being Scrappy Doo on the main roster or whatever.
And there's always drawbacks and everything, but my consistent thing with WWE is they do so poorly at building new stars.
Sure, but I will say I feel like everybody's there with a different intent. Yeah. I think Becky is there to have this reign and also to, and we know this because Sean's reported this on Fightful Select, the best $5 in the business. Mm-hmm. Some people are being sent there as a testing ground. Like, do you think this person has a future or not? I think some people like Los Lotharios are going back to be repackaged and will get called back up. I think Baron Corbin probably falls in that category.
Yep.
So it's not technically proper developmental, but it is a figure yourself out before you come up to the main roster so we actually use you. I wish Level Up was a more clear thing because maybe that's supposed to be where people are for like, I need reps people are supposed to be on Level Up. And then people who are TV ready are supposed to be like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bad Rocket, the puns are free for all. Rick Knox is refereeing the puns. You just go and do whatever you want.
You do whatever you want.
Declare your category. Mm-hmm. Boobs have taken over to the surprise of nobody.
No.
You leave you leave an open field to a mostly male demographic. Boobs are probably going to take over.
Yep. Here we go. There's a few here that we could really just go ahead. Lieutenant Photo says, my wife apologizes for kicking this into gear. Mamariho.
Very well done.
Alpha Bill says Rhett Titus.
That's right there. Mm-hmm. That needs no help and is an ROHOG. Thank you for that very much.
Electric Mayhem says breast the boob man heart. I mean, honestly, there's something else that rhymes with Hitman that was right there. And I feel like
I'll say it.
Tit man heart.
I was gonna say. I can say it as I can read them as a girl.
Right there.
What I like about breasts the Tit Man heart is that it also has one T.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. Well, that's the Elite Biscuit. With apologies to you, I'm going to reframe your suggestion for the pun in a little bit. Booby Rod.
Booby Rod or Booby Rude?
That would just be the it's a little highfalutin, but it's the vowel sounds just moved from one word to the other. So
It changed it
Booby
too much.
Rod or Booby Rude. I don't know. I sometimes I do too much, Kate.
You changed the nature of the name
I did.
and of the game. And it's all about the game and how you play it, I've been told.
Listen, it's not necessarily all about the game and how you play it.
Sometimes time to play the game.
Mr. Showtime says sad pun, Darby Sadden. Orion Ben 666 says Techno Tornado Tag Team 2000.
Thank you very much. I really like that one.
Chi-Town Spurs says
I don't even know who was Eric Watson. Who? I always forget the other guy.
I don't know.
Who is it?
I don't know. Chi-Town Spurs says Temple of My Dog.
Oh, that's so good.
Because that's exactly which version of My Dog he meant is the Sami Zayn version.
Oh, that's so good.
Temple of My Dog. Matthew Plus says the only man MJF fears. That is not the kind of puns we're doing. Captain Sean Peen? No, it's boob puns, not the other thing.
We did say it was a free-for-all in his defense.
Yeah, we did. Travis, aka Chad Fortune, was in Techno Team 2000.
Chad Fortune, that's right. Considering how much I stand them, I should probably know who's in it.
Louisville says Mike Brossum.
See, what's bad about this is these are phenomenal boob puns, and I don't want this to be like something that carries over because it'll definitely go downhill.
Lieutenant Photo says AEW presents Mammogram Slam. Wrestling with Movies says a Royal Pumble as opposed to Royal Rumble.
The Royal Pumble. Let me tell you the rules of the Royal Pumble and tell you 700 times between now and the match.
Yep. Much of Showtime says Jared Titties Appreciation Society. I mean, that's just putting it right into the thing. That's just too much.
You are beautiful on the inside.
There you go. That's a good pun. Insert clever Tegan Knox pun. Is for there you go. Grunge band, Screaming Treesgan Knox.
All right, I'll take that.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad.
Lieutenant Photo says Chris Stacklander and Nip Sabian.
Nip Sabian's really good.
Mr. Showtime says Boob Holly. Hardcore Boob Holly.
Hardcore Boob Holly is great.
Yeah. Chi-Town Spurs Areola Vice. Ryan Ben says Ricky Rainbow Hunger Strike by Kemble of the Dog.
Are you supposed to sing that as Ricky Rainbow? Is that
I think so.
Request?
Yes, okay. That is a request. That is not a pun. Put that back where it's supposed to be, Luis.
Luis, put that pun back where you found it.
Put that pun in the requests.
No, see, this is what happens. He had 2 days off
in the jukebox. He lost it. Pieces says Bad Dude Tito or Bad Dude Tito.
How great do we love that for Bad Dude Tito on the 0 hour showing out, suplexing Billy Gunn.
Mm-hmm.
Love Tito.
Robert
forever.
Robert Lyle says Northern Headlights suplex. Wrestling with Movies says Gene Titsky. It's not my fault.
He did punt a baby.
He did punt a baby. He did punt a baby. Becky Lynch. Do you have any regrets about giving it? Do you wish you had punted your baby? MD Spooko says Boobert Boob.
Robert Roode?
Also, yeah, well, there you go. Yes. Also, Adam Cole's finish is the boob. You know, it's all about the boob.
Oh. I was like the Panama Sunrise.
He doesn't finish anybody with that since ROH. Robert Lyle, Tata's Santana.
That's pretty good. I'll take that.
Ryan Ben says,
I feel like Titties Santana, right? See, people are trying to be respectful, and I'm just out here saying titties. So,
Orion Ben says, "Booby, booby, 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 Soho."
That's an excellent one.
Robert Hollick says the implant DDT.
That's really good.
Chi-Town Spurs says Carmelon's Hayes.
That's really good too.
Insert Clever Tegan Knox pun says Tegan Knockers. Tom LaValle says Aussie Opens finisher, the areolas.
Poor Mark Davis and his poor wrist.
Yeah, poor Mark Davis for serious. Wait, what happened? Where did it go?
I'll say live, it was like, oh, suddenly he just stopped using that arm entirely. Like that was sad.
Where did it go?
Where did it go?
Where are you? Where did you leave? Why did you?
Guys, I saw Zack Sabre Jr. and Bryan Danielson live. I'm just going to talk about it while Alex is figuring out whatever he's figuring it out.
What happened?
What happened was Bryan Danielson didn't use the technical wrestling move to finish the match. So we don't know who the best technical wrestler in the world is, which means we have to have a rematch, which means send in a lot of sour chats on days that aren't today so I can fly to Japan so I can go to Wrestle Kingdom.
Where? I must have like X'd out of it. Where that was
what
so
are you looking
weird.
For?
The Google Doc. It was sitting right here, and then it goes. Bleep.
Oh, I've got it open.
I know, but I found it. It's okay. It's weird. I'm just angry about it.
I know, but I found it.
Aaron Kubisak says, "My name is Rick Boobs."
Oh, great pun, and also that poor guy kept down by the man.
It was all politics. Jesse Ozog says, "Dr. Tit Baker, DMD."
She could point at her. Never mind.
Mm-hmm. She could. So Lyra defeated Rox and Indy because Kiana James pulled Rox off of Indy after Rox did the Pop Rocks to Indy. And then immediately Becky Lynch got up and she's not allowed to have contact with people. So she kicks Kiana James in the face.
I am medically cleared to kick you and walk away.
Yeah. This was a good little triple threat.
It was really good. Yeah.
It was really good. This is the beginning of like there are four, right?
Four women's matches. Come on.
Apparently you can do that. I was told that you can only do one women's match in 3 hour span last night, and it had to be under 5 minutes.
Of course.
But this was only 2 hours.
Whoa. You can also have more women. You just have to also have them for no reason mixed in on a pre-show with other dudes.
Oh.
Yeah.
But in this company, I was told you could only have a 5-minute match in a 3 hour span.
Oh yeah.
But they had 4 matches in a 2 hour span, and I feel like that's against the rules. No, because if it was allowed, surely I would have seen it more often.
Well,
on other programs run by this company.
I mean, certainly that would be the case because they have an incredible women's roster with some of the best women's wrestlers in the world. In fact, many of them are proven draws and money makers for this very company. In fact, there was a time where it was almost like 50-50 screen time. I don't know if you remember that brief period of time leading into WrestleMania 36. But yeah, they must have broken the rules tonight. But I love it. I love seeing great women's wrestling. 4 women's matches tonight is good stuff. It'd be better if there were better stories, but I'll take. And
they were 4 in a row too. 4 in a row.
Wow, that's right. Yeah, there were 4.
Corey David says, "Got to give NXT props. 4 women's matches. Only Impact does stuff like that." Yeah, well, there you go.
Impact's the standard for women's wrestling in the United States.
So true. So I'm going to read these Humper chats, and then I'm going to get into the thing that made me the craziest tonight. Not Dominik, by the way. Expected that.
That one was expected. Yeah,
Wrestling with Movies says, "I think the counter programming is absolutely hilarious." We'll get to that. But just going to put over Becky instead. This run she's on is sensational, both in ring and what she's doing with all these young women is so great. Her versus Lyra should be great. I want to say this. this is the absolute best way I've ever seen from keeping one top person away from another top person until the match is ready for you to do the match. They have figured out a way to keep Becky Lynch away from Rhea Ripley, where it feels like how are you going to keep Becky Lynch away from Rhea Ripley until WrestleMania? That's crazy. Nope. They figured out a way to do it in the absolute best way possible, and she is putting over every woman she's working with, having great matches. Rhea, I would argue, should be having great matches of her own, and she's not, and that's a problem, but they are keeping Becky Lynch away from Rhea Ripley with an amazing way to do it. So
agreed. And if you tell me you think Becky Lynch is the best women's wrestler in history, I cannot disagree with you. Mm-hmm. I don't know if she's mine. She might be. Yeah. But she has provided value just for like every second that she's been able to and given the opportunity to.
Right.
It's incredible, and it's truly inspired work. I saw the highlights of her and Tiffany like after the match, and the way she like pulled herself off the table because she knew Tiffany Stratton was going to overshoot it. It was like, I have to get underneath her. This girl's going to break her neck. Like just the first word that comes to mind when people say Becky Lynch's name to me is selfless. Every single time.
Mm-hmm. Our Wrestling Movies continues with, aside from stacking the show next week with people who will be there just next week and not again, and frankly, it's funny to me because wrestling is back in that regard. But what Becky is doing, I feel, is actually helpful and putting people over, which is
very
is
much
great.
So. Very much so.
Okay. So, Kiana James is backstage going to be interviewed about why did you do that to Roxanne? Mackenzie Mitchell apparently does not watch the program and does not know that she and Roxanne have been like at each other's throats on multiple occasions over the last 6 weeks. But why would you do that to Roxanne? Why would you do that? I'm sorry, I'm on the phone. Yes, don't worry. It's Kiana James, blah, blah, blah. And don't worry, I'll take everything. And it's just, anyway, well, Roxanne can have a match with me if she wants, but she has to beat her opponent next week. The Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka. And what I want to know is, like in what canon, in what part of this universe have we established that Kiana James and Asuka have ever even met? How does Kiana James even have Asuka's phone number? Where have they ever interacted?
How did she make this match? I don't understand. I know it's weird that wrestlers have booking power, but like Kiana James, of all people, being like, I can call Asuka over from the main roster.
I can call her, tell her I would like her to kick Roxanne's ass, and after having that phone conversation, Asuka agrees to it for some reason. And then it's just the matches happened. The matches happened.
You know what I would have liked from Kiana James in this segment is for Mackenzie Mitchell to say, why did you do this? And for her to just go, because I'm a sneaky bitch. And that's what I do. I've been doing it for 10 months. Sure. Just say it. I'm a sneaky bitch. And I do business. I merge and acquire businesses and in real estate, kind of.
My favorite thing we ever it doesn't even have to do with the porn accountant thing. It's just when she was like, I am doing business things. When she would like just like be on a phone and like be calling and like looking at files and things and like
yes. I am. It's when Phoebe on Friends is like Regina Phalange. She's like, I left my briefcase in conference room B. She's just saying business words. That's what it was.
Yeah. It says buy, sell, do both. That's my favorite thing that I've ever come up with for Kiana James. I don't understand how this match just gets made. Like, I understand why you're doing it because it's the Tuesday thing. You're going to load everything up. But also, Asuka has a title match on Saturday. And, like, there should be a 33% chance that she leaves Indianapolis with the title. She's in a triple threat match. And just the idea that before that happens, she's agreeing to show up in Orlando on her friggin' day off, a couple of days away from having what should be a grueling match with two other great competitors and be like, yeah, sure, I'll come up and beat up Roxanne. Like,
Well,
there's got to be a bunch of women who aren't going to be on the Fastlane card who you could call and might be, I don't know, more believable than
it was a
Asuka?
weird choice. Now I want to see the match. I hate the way that they got there, but I'm like, yes, give me Asuka and Roxanne, please.
Yeah,
I would argue
also
I would argue that Asuka has a better than the 33% chance because you look at her and you look at Charlotte Flair and Io
no,
Sky.
she has a worse than that chance because Charlotte has a 90% chance.
I'm doing a Steiner Math promo.
We've done the Steiner Math promo on this very show at least 10 times because one of the people on this show is a Steiner, even though they won't let us tell him that he is.
You squashed my moment. You Charlotte Flaired the Charlotte Blair segment we were talking about.
I'm sorry for that. I don't ever want to be Charlotte. So
damn right. Because you've got the you're great at your job part down.
It's my fault for being Charlotte.
Thank you for your apology.
However,
you're gonna do that 16 more times on this episode.
If the only way that Roxanne gets a match against Kiana James is if she beats Asuka, then we already know the result of the match.
Yeah, of course.
I hate when they do that.
I'm just trying to survive out here, okay?
I know, man. It's just I hate when they do that stuff.
Look, Alex, I can't deny that they took all the excitement out of it, okay? And I can say that they're going to need some help getting the excitement back in their product. You know what I mean? They're going to need to add some snap. Yep. They're going to need help doing it. If you want to get the other people excited, if you want to get yourself excited to deliver an outstanding performance, my God, Alex, you're going to need the help of Bluechew.
Is your sex life stuck in developmental? Well, get ready for a call up with Bluechew.com and the code Fightful. Same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but how about this? No awkward in-person visits, no trips to the pharmacy. It's shipped straight to your door in a discreet package. But let me tell you, your package is not going to be discreet when you use Bluechew, and the code Fightful helps give you that confidence, that performance to take you straight to the main event, if you know what I'm saying. When approved online by one of our physicians, it just arrives straight to your door. You're not going to have people nosing around with what you're doing, and right now you get your first shipment free when you use the code Fightful. Go straight to the top. You know what I mean. Memorable performance, high spot, whatever other innuendos you can think of, Bluechew.com and the code Fightful.
I'm going to put this up from Sefa, who also has really good things to say on the chat. I think it's exciting to have Asuka there, but surely Bayley would make more sense if they wanted a top woman to show up and that Kiana could contact. She's also a former women's champion in NXT. And also, Kiana knowing Bayley somehow would work. I mean, I feel like I've actually seen them interacting on Twitter, going back and forth. You know what I mean? Like it feels more likely. And also the most important thing is that Bayley doesn't have a title match on Saturday. That's the most important thing. And also all Bayley does is lose, so her losing to Roxy
doesn't really matter.
Doesn't really matter. Asuka should be protected coming out of what is almost certainly going to be her taking a pin on Saturday. It's kind of sucks that she's going to lose 2 times in 3 days. So, yeah. I just don't understand how Kiana James could just make that match. It kind of just
that's banana.
Wait, who's Rossi? Who is Rossi? Luis, I don't know who that is. Rossi gave Kiana Asuka's phone number.
Roxanne.
Rossi, Stardom's head booker. Why does Kiana have the Stardom's head booker number? Did Kiana wrestle in? Because
Rossi needed to get a house financed or land purchased or real estate of some kind.
Josh Tolman says, so what I'm hearing is that Kiana's business character was Vincent Adult Man from BoJack Horseman. Yes. Yes.
So she's the horse girl?
Yes. Well, technically, yes. Well, yes. Will Chisholm says, I know it's petty, but I'm ready for Roxanne versus Asuka next week. And for no reason, I'm not going to be on social media next Tuesday. LOL. God, that's going to be a friggin' cesspool.
Yeah, no, that's going to
People
be terrible.
just yelling at each other. It's like, it's going to bring out the absolute worst in the worst wrestling fans.
Yeah.
And I'm not happy about it.
I'm almost happy we have a review because we won't be like on Twitter
Right.
while the worst of it
Yes.
is going on.
Oh, yeah, it's so true.
People were like, Ed showed up at AEW after his contract ended. He is a traitor to society.
Will Chisholm says Becky is the GOAT. She has a case of number one PWI women's wrestlers between her and Chris.
Statlander?
It's spelled with a CH, so I'm not sure who that is. Is Chris Statlander?
Chris Jericho?
Maybe. Jericho. It's Jericho.
It's probably Jericho.
I would say Athena will be she's going to get a lot of votes. Mark Losper says Becky's most valuable, definitely in-ring best all time, Kana / Asuka.
Sure.
Louisville says nobody is ready for Braska. Gigi Dolin faced Blair Davenport. They have a serious, brutal rivalry where each of them cannot stop attacking the other one. And in order to settle the rivalry, they must have a fight. A fight, I tell you, in the middle of the ring, where one person will lazily roll up the other one from behind, and that'll be what settles it. Surely. Oh, Vic Joseph says it's gotta feel so good. It's gotta feel so good for Gigi Dolan to get that really lazy, shitty little schoolgirl roll-up pin on her nemesis Blair Davenport. Gotta feel so good.
Like, they're both really cool, is the thing. Like, Gigi Dolan is cool.
Yeah.
Blair Davenport is cool.
Mm-hmm. And then, yeah,
Blair Davenport is a Punisher. And Gigi Dolan...
Just have them fight. Have them fight and win the match.
Have them have a real fight. They did worse to each other backstage than they did in this match. I'm guessing they're going to try and, like, build this up for another 2 matches. So that's why we got the lazy ending.
Blair goozled the ref.
Yeah.
After the ref took the chair away from her. So
don't use the word goozled enough.
She goozled him, and
it's cromulent. Are you proud of me?
I mean, yes, and
you're impossible tonight. You should be so proud of me.
I'm very happy you used the word. I don't feel like you used it in the right.
Isn't it a fake word? How could you use it in the right?
It is a fake word, but it means something.
It's not a word. How can it mean something? You're so mean to me.
Context, Kate. Context.
Bring me back to Seattle. You know who was nice to me? Bryan Danielson, the greatest wrestler of all time. And nice to me. That's weird.
Alex, you know the perfect ending for a blood feud is the surprise roll up. That's just natural.
Yeah.
That's just science. That Vic Joseph saying that she's definitely getting suspended for putting her hands on a referee. So I guess we'll get this feud ending in November sometime. Won't that be fun?
She'll be suspended 1 week.
Okay. I want to see more of these two fighting each other. I just wanted to have a different ending than that.
Yeah, you want to feel like a fight.
Women's Breakout tournament. They do the whole thing where they're like,
Wait, so I did use this right, probably.
No, Chris. I mean, like, it may be like that is. I have a bone to pick with the dictionary,
Miriam,
because that is not what cromulent means.
Time out.
That is not what cromulent
means.
Please,
somebody clip. I have a bone to pick with the dictionary.
I have a bone to pick with the dictionary. Misters. Miriam,
let me tell you
Webster.
something, dictionary. I've got a bone to pick.
Nah, that's not.
You don't have the balls to tell us what cromulent means. What does cromulent mean?
Cromulent. It's a cromulent. Legitimate, but like in a nonchalant way. I don't know what. Like, it's not like. It's like, yeah, no, it's real. It exists. It's a thing that existed. It's a thing
So,
that
like,
exists.
it's still cromulent to me, damn it.
Kind of, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Acceptable. Acceptable to me is different than average, because I'm not rating it on a scale of something to something. I'm saying it's there. It exists. It
Just
exists.
never gonna get my
allow it.
dad's approval.
I'm sorry.
I make a Simpsons reference, and it's like, no, good job, honey.
After
On
I
your
take
C+.
out youth dictionary, I'm coming for you, thesaurus. Begrudgingly okay is a great other definition for it.
The moment's passed. I thought I did something good. It was only cromulent.
Alpha Bill says, prepare for Alex's war on Webster. That's true. Sentence concept suggests it means adequate, which again, I maintain is different than average.
It's a fake word.
Embiggen is a perfectly cromulent word. That's where it comes from. Okay.
I finally learned damaged Kataro.
Listen. We got to get through this. Okay. We just got to get through this now. Okay. So, I'm sorry that okay. So they bring out all the girls for the breakout tournament like they did last year. And they show them, they have like little things, like little fun facts about them, like right next to them. And so the in order, Lola Vice did MMA and Bellator. So that's what you need to know about that. Danny, we've seen Danny Parker. She's a gymnast. We know she's a gymnast. Okay, fine.
Not Parker.
Ariana Grace, Santino Marella's kid. That's all you need to know about her.
Want to call her Ariana Grande?
That's yep. Jada Parker. It was a 2-sport athlete at LSU. So, yeah, we'll see.
An IL class, clearly.
Yeah. They have her in a spot on the bracket that suggests she could win the first match, but I've never seen her do anything before, nor have I seen her opponent in the first match, Carmen Petrovich, do anything, but she has a Russian name and she carries her in a katana. Clearly she's an assassin. Clearly she's an assassin. And then Jakara Jackson.
This brought me so hard.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, dictionary, how's your dad? Oh, that's right. He's dead.
Jakara Jackson is from the Metaphor, so we already know who that is.
Hell yeah.
Kilani is better than Dana Brooke. So
yes,
that's all that's done.
Better
and Izzy is a pro volleyball player, which is not a thing that I knew was a thing. Like I didn't know there was a professional volleyball league. Great. Good for you. I thought it was like college, Olympics if you're good enough. Otherwise, get a job. I didn't know there was a professional volleyball league. Good for her. Good for her. So the first match we get is Kalani Jordan versus Izzy. Kalani Jordan is winning this tournament. They put her on the pay-per-view pre-show. She lost that match, but she looked really good against Blair Davenport. She's winning this tournament. If she's not, the person that she faces in the finals, Lola Vice, will win this tournament. It is one of those deals where this is what we do. We're just going to do the bracket in a way that we all know.
I remember when we said that 6 weeks ago about another tournament.
Oh, listen. It would be a really dumb thing for them to do to feature.
Yeah, there's
Kalani
not
Jordan.
Stakes here when it's a breakout.
So Izzy Dame is the volleyball player. She is the bruiser. She beat the hell out of Kalani Jordan. Kalani Jordan hit 4 moves and won.
Yes.
That was the match. It wasn't a bad match, but it was very much so the heel beats up the face hits 4 moves and wins. Like that's it's one of those matches. They're never my favorite, but everyone in the match was competent and did their job well. Good for them.
For like kind of an introductory match, that's a smart first match to have in NXT, right? Mm-hmm. Like that makes sense in the context of what this is too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The competitors from last year in June 2022, Nikita Lyons, who would have a much more prominent role if she was not injured.
Correct.
Ariana Grace, injured for most of this past time since she had that thing. Horse Girl, firmly in the mid card. Notorious Mimi, who was released in November of last year. Roxanne Perez, obviously winner, went on to become the champion. Lash Legend, we know who she is. Tatum Paxley, enhancement. Tiffany Stratton.
Trish Stratus, Tiff Stratton.
Easy thing to do.
Easy mix.
So, like, honestly, there's a very good chance, considering what we saw last year, that all of these women are going to be, like, most of these women will be featured at least somewhat a year from now, which is good. You want this tournament to look like it's actually going to break at least several people out as opposed to just one. So yeah, which is good. We got a Brian Pillman Jr. vignette. I don't have the time to do what I wanted to do, which was to read the entire article on USA.
Can you just read the one key paragraph though? I'm not here to crap on Brian Pillman Jr., but the way they framed him in this article.
No, I'm not here to crap on him. I feel like the people who wrote this never
be realistic.
We need to be honest about what
another strategic steal from AEW.
WWE's yet another savvy signing by WWE as they pluck yet another aspiring superstar away from the competition. They did not renew his contract.
They didn't renew his contract. He was half of a tag team that stopped getting featured. He had one program with MJF, and
they don't release people. If they did, he would have been. You know what I mean?
I feel like serviceable is a good word. And the article positioned him to sound like Jade. Like he was getting brought in like Jade Cargill.
Yeah. They call him a world-class athlete, which is not how I would describe Brian Pillman Jr.
No.
I don't think
Brian Pillman Jr. would describe himself that way.
Yeah. No, Pillman Jr. is going to NXT. Your laughter notwithstanding, that is a thing that is happening.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
No, it is not. No, it is not. That guy did not do that. It was some guy who works for USA Network. This guy you're mentioning works for Forbes. Nope. No, not at all.
Nope.
It lists a person who wrote it, but it does feel like it was written by AI. It really does. But yeah, so that another vignette of him doing that. Just hang out. Show up, do what you're going to do. I don't know what we're going to do with Brian Pillman Jr., but I don't know, man. I don't know what they expect him to be, but that ain't going to be it.
My fear is they try to make him his dad.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. So I don't know what the story is that's going forward with Chase U.
Neither do they.
But I want it to stop. I want it to stop right now. It's not going anywhere good. It's not going anywhere good. I don't trust them that it could easily go somewhere good. I don't trust them to take it anywhere good. But the Thea Hale and JC Jane making friends again with Andre Chase and Duke Hudson, who's still carrying around his ridiculous MVP trophy.
By JC's urging, too, should be noted.
I just don't know what's going on, and I don't like it.
Chase U just used to be like about everybody in Chase U, and now it's about Thea Hale's little rebellion story.
Yeah.
Use Duke Hudson.
Yeah.
Like, use Duke Hudson and use Andre Chase, Harlem Bravado, like, for the right stuff. This is just weird. It is interesting that JC was the one to be like, no, come to ringside, because maybe JC's got friends that are going to take them out or whatever. But, like, this used to be one of the most over things, and they've kind of just dismantled it. And even though it really wasn't for you, and it wasn't for me, and then was, I don't understand the pivot here, and I also don't understand why my computer's not charging. So give me 1 second. Bye.
Okay. Thea Hale and JC Jane are in a tag match with Elektra Lopez and Lola Vice. Elektra Lopez taps out to Thea Hale's Kimura lock, which is today, like, she's fine, but they like made sure to tell us that the catch point guys, Drew Gulak, Charlie Dempsey, Damon Kemp, that they taught her the Kimura lock, and then nobody has taught her any other moves since then, really. Like, it's just the same stuff that she does. And I don't know where that storyline went with Chase U. And I don't know where. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where Chase U and the catch point guys, that storyline went, but it felt like it was what you were building to for weeks and weeks and weeks. But no, we're not doing that anyway. So yeah, this is just Andre Chase's face looking at Thea Hale just scares me. It scares me. Scares me. That's all. That's all I'll say about that.
Oh no, did I miss my opportunity to talk about this more? Guess we better move on.
Carmelo Hayes backstage with Braun Breaker was, to me, the best thing on the show, except for the fact that Braun Breaker lost his match.
Correct.
I loved the way he talked to him. Like, it sucks, right? Losing your title.
I remember.
Like a part of you was taken away. I remember really well. But I say that you should take all of your anger and turn it into destroying people, because that's a lot of fun for me. And boy, oh boy, wouldn't it be great if you had done anything to, like, he should have today. You should start the show with Braun Breaker putting Robert Stone through a table backstage, picking him up, put him through another table, picking him up. I'm tabling you. Is that what you guys like to do? Table people? I'm going to table you. Because Von Wagner's not clear to come back. He's got his head crushed. But Robert Stone decided he was going to take. So at least have Braun get his heat back before he then starts lecturing Carmelo Hayes on what to do. Because he's a dude who lost to Baron Corbin because Robert Stone did a crossbody to him. And if you don't have him get his heat back before he starts lecturing people on what to do, it feels like it's coming from the wrong place.
Yeah, it does. They just didn't pay it off at all, so I don't understand it. Like, Von Wagner's not there. I don't think there's going to be room for him next week. Like, I think next week's actually going to be really fun. Like, I like when companies go head to head, but now you're going to have everything that got skipped this week is going to be 3-year-old creative.
They're going to do a thing on the first episode of Halloween Havoc on the 24th, where Vaughn and Braun do a brawl. And then on the second episode of Halloween Havoc on the 31st, they're going to actually have maybe they'll do the trick or treat fight. Maybe we'll get to see Von Wagner put a pumpkin on Braun Breaker's head and then put him through a table full of candy.
I would rather they ran back the electric chair angle.
He was like, he actually says something like, where was Trick when you lost that title? Was he waiting in Gorilla to console you after the loss? No, you had to go find him because he was somewhere celebrating by himself, being selfish. And
said, oh no, what I thought was going to happen is going to happen right at the segment.
I don't hate it if it's like Braun, who has a relationship with Carmelo because Carmelo's the one who took his title from Braun, like having that like dovetail back into each other and maybe having them like become guys who kind of respect each other as fellow, like they have similar experiences. And Braun,
I just mean
turning him to the dark side is better than just, you have the title I used to have, I must fight you. Like Braun doing it feels more.
No. I meant when this segment happened, I was like, I already figured Dominik was going to win today. But I was like, oh, and now he's not going to be in Gorilla when Trick loses.
Well, yeah, that's true. It's true. He does say that he's leaving. He's like, oh, I'm leaving because my boy doesn't want me to be out there with him for his title match. I'm just going to go. But you'll never believe who I got off the phone with. John Cena is going to be here next week to corner me in my match versus Braun Breaker that I made because everyone knows NXT people
make
can
your own
make
match.
their own matches. So, yeah. And Mr. Showtime says, Asuka, Cena, and Cody? I smell desperation. Well, they're definitely trying to load up the thing. I don't know. You can assign it desperation all you want.
I think it's just fun. It's two companies going head to head for one night. Load it up.
No, but they're trying to beat them in the ratings and then be like, we beat them.
They should. AEW should do the same thing.
But AEW doesn't have a main roster to pull to that show for. Like,
no, but they should load it up. Like,
right. They should load it up. They should load it up.
Yeah, like send your best.
But it is very telling that the show that you put on Tuesdays does not have anybody on it regularly that anybody wants to watch.
Sure, but so you can say the same thing about ROH. You can say the same thing about ROH right now.
Well, yeah, ROH isn't running on cable networks on a different night of the week.
No, that's true. But my point being that both developmental programs are
if for some reason that there was an ROH show on True TV on Thursdays, and all of a sudden SmackDown had to run on a Thursday. Yeah, they would throw all of their AEW people on that Thursday show, but they're not.
Well, that would be nice because the belts would get defended in ROH. And to clarify, there's plenty of talent I want to see on Thursdays.
True. Yes,
there's not plenty of talent most people want to see on Thursdays, which is a shame.
Yeah, that's true. So then at the end of the night, we got Paul Heyman doing something, saying, "Hey, I talked to Roman Reigns." And everyone in real time was like, Roman Reigns is going to be there. Roman Reigns is going to be there. Roman Reigns. Nope. No, just Paul. Paul's going to be there on behalf of Roman Reigns. They can't get Roman to show up for work on Fridays. He's not going to friggin' Orlando on Tuesday. No way. Not a chance. So Heyman will be, Ryan Sakini says, Heyman cornering Braun means main roster, right? Right. He's got to lose to Von Wagner. So whenever that happens, I'm thinking
there's a really cool opportunity. I'll say it again, to have like an NXT versus main roster. If the NXT side wins, they stay on the main roster thing. Mm-hmm. Would be a really cool idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, this is true. Fighting Creepy says that he takes way too long to say things. Sometimes old Paul does now. It's just too much.
He's accepted his hair, huh?
So Cody is going to make a major announcement on NXT.
Next.
It is the least major a major announcement has ever been.
Well, hold on. Tony Khan's made some pretty medium major announcements.
True. But Tony Khan's supposed to be there. Like importing Cody and being like, makes a major announcement. I am here to tell you that a tag tournament that happens damn near every year is also happening this year.
Yeah, but
pretty lackluster. When you're begging for people to come watch the show because he's going to be on it, having him come out and do whoa and then say this tag tournament that happens every year is happening feels.
This is the most substantive creative he's had in like 3 months. But you can't remember all the stuff I said about my dad. Well, here's the tournament. You can't be like, Cody Rhodes is here with a medium announcement.
Well, that's
you have
just
to
say Cody Rhodes will appear on the show. Everyone's gonna watch it. They're nobody's good. I know, whatever.
Because then they'll think he's wrestling though.
But he probably will. According to Jeremy Lambert, he's gonna beat Dominik Mysterio in 2 minutes.
He should. Let him finish the damn story already. I'm so sick of the story.
That's right. LOL Cody is the title of this segment, according to Luis. Will Chisholm says, I'm ready for Cody to say we have the Dusty Classic, but Cody's going to do the cry face, we in the Codyverse, baby, LOL, and they know what they was doing, acting like Roman was going, tease Roman, but we get Paul Heyman instead. It's true. Will Chisholm says, Roman doesn't like showing up on SmackDown. We think he's going to NXT, LOL. No, he's not going to.
He's not even showing up. Yeah, he's showing up in Saudi Arabia.
That's true. Main event. Listen. I just waited around until the last 2 minutes, and then
Yeah, me too.
I was
Here's what
emptying the dishwasher, making my daughter's lunch for tomorrow, in the kitchen, hearing things, and then all of a sudden I was like, "Oh, JD McDonough's getting involved," and I just like wandered back into the living room. Didn't even sit down, just stood there in front of the TV. And then I saw Trick Williams get hit in the head with the title belt and fall over, and then Dominik hit him with the frog splash and then pinned him, and I was like, click, and walked upstairs.
It's maddening to see them take backward step with the very little progress that Dominik has made.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times. I think the fact that every week we say with this stuff, like, this kind of booking is not for me. I don't like overbooked bastards. I don't like Jeff Jarrett. Right. I don't like House of Torture. I don't like this. I've said that like 30 times, which means that they've had this booking like 30 times. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm saying it that frequently, that means I was fed up with it 8 times into seeing it. Of course, Dominik won. It makes sense for the Trick and Mello story. I don't care. I guess. Seems like Dragon Lee is going to the main roster, so I don't know what you do with this, but I don't.
I will be very surprised if Dragon Lee is not teaming with Santos and Rey Mysterio versus the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley on Saturday.
Yeah,
be very surprised if it's not him, but yeah.
So I mean, they have a ton of North American title type talent there. There's so much you can do. If Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate was really one night only, you could finally give Tyler Bate something. Nathan Frazier's right there. Like, there's a lot of people that you can drop it to.
Dominik is walking into the War Games match carrying that title around his waist.
Yeah. Well,
I
mean, now you don't have anybody built up. Like, this sucks, but this is also partly due to the circumstances, so I'm a little bit less whatever about it. Because it's like he was supposed to drop to Mustafa, and I think that would have been the end of that. It just sucks. Like, it's now they have to go put in work for the next contender, and who is that and all that.
Yep.
And until then, we have to deal with this bullshit.
Mile High Blurred says, damn, what's next for Trick and Tiffany? Tiffany feels main roster bound sooner than later for me. I don't know. She really showed out against Becky in those matches she had with her, and there's nothing they're not going to give her a title back. I just don't feel like they're going to do. But Trick, I feel like Trick's got stories to tell.
Yeah, big time.
He's got his stuff he's got to do with Mello. I feel like there's more there. He was interacting with Ilya like they have matches to have now. Maybe because he said like, now I got this title. I feel like I'm only moving up, and the way that you move up is to go after the Ilya Dragunov. Would not be surprised to see them have a title match. I don't think he'll beat Ilya Dragunov, but it doesn't matter to them that he was the champion for 2 days and then lost to Dominik, who again 3 weeks ago lost to Cody Rhodes in 2 minutes on Raw. 2 minutes.
Well,
2 minutes. 2.
Everybody loses to Cody. He took off his jacket and the bloodline went running.
2 minutes.
Like an average women's match.
Yeah. Elite Biscuit says Dominik is slowly turning me into Ebenezer Scrooge. That might be something I have to go find a top hat and some mutton chops, and maybe I can be Scrooge for Christmas if Dominik is still champion.
I'll sing the Muppet songs at you.
Mm-hmm. Caden Lee says, glad my boy Dom Dom is champ again. Seek professional help. Kidding. Steph, the writer, says, why do they always play these bullshit games when black wrestlers have titles? I mean, I'm pretty sure they would have played this game if Mustafa Ali was the champion right now too. So, that is true. They played a weird, to me at least, they played a really weird game with Tiffany. Like,
yeah, that's true.
You're going to give her the title. You're going to have great matches with her, but you're not getting the title back. Yeah, we booked you to have a terrible reign. Our booking was awful since you became champion. But you're going to give this title to a much bigger star than you.
It does feel disproportionate, though, in like Trick. They capitalized on a moment and then immediately took it away. Kofi Mania was an out of nowhere moment, even though there were 12 years behind it, and they took it away. Biggie, they didn't book a reign for. That one's a little closer to Tiffany's, and they took it away. So you're right. It feels disproportionate to black champions, but it definitely happens to white champions too, because their booking is shit wall as well.
Yep. Corey David says, can't really call Trick a dumb baby face because when Trick offered his help against Dom, Mello turned him down. So it's fair for Trick, he won by himself. No, I can call him a dumb baby face because when Mello faced Dominik, no titles were on the line. Trick, you just became champion. You know they're going to cheat. You got to have somebody out there to run interference for you. I mean,
and another person being dumb doesn't make it less dumb. Like right. that's my thing.
But it's a false equivalency because the match that Mello had versus Dominik
wasn't for a title.
Wasn't for a title, so it didn't really matter. Mark Losper says, "Wait, Dom is champ again? This company, bruh. Yes, this company indeed, bruh." Tom LaValle says, "Dirty Dom with the 1-star frog splash." Begrudgingly, I will say he's getting better, but they have to tell him to stop doing the 619 because it's
bad.
Awful. Other things are better. That is not good. Next week is effing loaded. They're trying to do this thing against
Title Tuesday, baby.
Title Tuesday. And tomorrow on Dynamite, expect all of the stops to get pulled out. After tonight, when Caden says that HBK is a petty king, just like me, meaning Caden. Tony Khan is going to be some petty stuff.
I don't even view it as petty. It's two wrestling promotions going head to head. I think that's just good fun, to be honest. Load them up. Send your best. Do it.
I would say yes, except for I just don't know, man. It's just it is not petty, but it is throwing gasoline on a fire that they keep talking about like. Guys, it's not that big a deal. Let's not be all tribalistic about everything. Knowing there's everybody out there that feels that way, that there's going to be violence at one of these shows because people take it way too damn seriously, and somebody from the wrong company is going to show up somewhere and do something. I don't know. These people are saying vile things to each other about the wrestling company.
Yeah, but the people that are saying vile things to each other are faceless, nameless cowards online.
And then, yeah.
Because they did it before. They were going head to head every week for months. Yeah. No, it's not on wrestling companies for the small sect of people who act like dipshits online to not do this. I think it should be a whole heck of a lot of fun.
Yeah. Chi-Town Spurs says, WWE ever the subtle promotion? They're very subtle about putting John Cena, Cody Rhodes, Paul Heyman, Asuka.
Why would you be subtle? Go head to head. It's fun. That would be like, hey, we have the All-Star game, but we're going to send the second string shortstop from the Cubs. Like, no, come on. Have fun. Do it. Put Cody up against his old company. The guy, and then Edge can cut some promo about how Cody smashed the throne and now he's on the other channel. Like, have some fucking fun. Have fun.
Yeah, I hate it. I don't know why, but I hate it.
You hate it because this is your job, and so it's impossible to get away from the bullshit that comes with it.
Yeah, that's it. My stomach is in knots.
Yeah.
Like just thinking about it. I don't.
Because people are
awful.
People are gonna say a bunch of anti-Semitic stuff to MJF for no reason. That's why. Is it's like that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Matthew Hook says, "How should AEW compete next week? Any ideas?" They don't have like a break glass in case of emergency thing.
It's not an emergency. It's a 1 week head to head. You have Edge making his first promo. Maybe they book Mercedes if they want to be silly. I don't think they're it. I think it's wrestling and they're going head to head for 1 week. Like, it's just not that big of a deal. It's just not. It should be so much fun. And it would be if social media wasn't a thing. So just have fun and don't assign any weight to social media the best you can.
Mark Losper says, bringing this up for no reason whatsoever, Dragon Lee versus Hiromu in the Tokyo Dome was great.
Amazing.
Mark Losper says, I'm a black man, and this company has plenty of priors. Triple H versus Booker T is an example. But to be fair, they're more likely to book a champion awfully in general as opposed to just a black champion. That's true.
You know what I think it is? I think it's every black champion and a decent amount of white champions. It's just that thing. I can say from the women's perspective, Chris and Julia ended up being great, right? But when that match got made, I was like, there's an inevitable outcome that Chris wins. Yep. Julia's super young. What are we doing? I would have had no problem if that was one of 3 matches on the show. But because it was the only one, it felt wasted because women get such little screen time, right? So things like that, I think it's every time there's a black champion that happens, 60% of the times there's a white champion that happens, right? So it kind of, as a white gal, that's what it reads to me as.
Spooko says, Kiana asked Tony D for Asuka's number since Tony D got Shinsuke's number. Remember that? That was weird.
That was weird.
Mark Losper says, I was really, I wanted him to say that I got it from the Yakuza because mafia families, you know, they relate. Mark Losper says, I was really hoping that segue would end in a VPN promo, not a Bluechew one. Meat Normus says that this is a cromulent NXT review. So there you go. See.
I don't know if I should be offended by that, I think.
I love it. Kim Gray says, very late to the show. I had breast cancer almost 8 years ago. The puns have me rolling. Well, see, there you go. Well, that's good. I'm good. And congratulations on beating breast cancer. Draws says, BTA Breakout with the double D driver. Bra Breakout. I was going to say BTA. Bra Breakout. Orion Ben says, from Brutalities. So you know it's going to be good. The breast there is, the breast there was, and the breast there ever will be. Ronald Hollick says, Flash Holly.
That's
Louisville says, Encyclopedia Sasha Banksica. Britannica? Yeah, sure. Yes.
Well, she was the best character on Glow. I loved Britannica.
Kim Gray says John Seacup. Chris Pereira says the Nippler crossface. Josh Tolman says, want to highlight some other people have said Triple H's favorite band, Motorboat. The Iron Cleavages. Cactus Rack.
Cactus Rack is really good.
Yep. Jesse Ozog says, we got that one. Tit Baker. Wrestling with movies. We got Dr. Tit Baker, Double DMD. Double DMD is good. Robert Lyle says Mia Yams.
Yambag City.
Meet Normus says Boobtalica song. And the mammary remains. The mammary remains. Alpha Bill says Dante Melons and Ray Funbags. Robert Lyle says Rakota Kai. Robert Lyle says Nation of Lactation. Chris Mueller says the Nippler Race Stevens. Larry B. Dupree's the song by Fuel used for WWE's Farewell to Ric Flair. Leave the mammaries alone.
Got 2 mammaries.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. Hold on. What do we got up here? Diana Santos says, give Alex a silver play button, and he turns into Charlotte.
It's exactly what this is.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Matthew Plus says, I had the misfortune of running into Kate this weekend. Notice that, unlike her, I didn't feel the need to post a pic of me putting her in a headlock.
It's because I wouldn't let him anywhere near me to touch me. He did have a doppelganger who was very cool to meet, though, and really nice all weekend. So I wish he would be more like that guy.
Reese Power says, sending a hug to Alex, NXT effing ruining his soul. It's true. Mark Losper says, is that Johnny Gargano's best friend, Miss Kayfabe?
Can I just tell you, in addition to the media scrum, Alex, the wrestlers that have been interacting with me.
Yeah. Oh, they love you. Yeah.
I bought a Minion shirt because, of course, I did.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And on the Minion shirt, it says you can give yourself a number.
Right.
So what did I say? I'm giving myself number 69.
Right.
I also bought a Shane Hayes shirt because TMDK rules, and he's hysterical. And he did his own beat and sang a song. He's the best.
Yes. Yep.
But my Minion shirt, I said was going to be, I'm not done with my story.
You're not done with your story? We have a lot of super chats to get through. Okay,
I have 2 celebrity interactions to recap. The first is Athena replied back and said I'm number 690069. I am officially from Athena, number 690069. And the second thing is Johnny Gargano, who I was just tweeting nice things at until somebody put him back on TV, responded today because I said, I hope one of the things I said was, I hope when Johnny Gargano drive somewhere today, he gets to pull through the spot. Like it's just a nice, easy pull through. And then I said, I'm just going to keep tweeting dumb shit like this until someone puts him back on TV. And he tweeted at me, not in response, but proactively. He said, I pulled through my spot today. Thanks. Which means he not only saw, but he thought of me. And I say thank you, Johnny Wrestling. I am very excited for your return. Go get those tag titles. Bring them back to DIY. Let's go.
Very good. Jesse Ozog says, given the earlier conversation, I need to share this. To quote Friedrich Nietzsche, that for which we find words is something that is already dead in our hearts. There is always a kind of contempt in the act of speaking. That is true. Bargov says, I don't watch NXT, but I watch your show every week. Love Sour Graps. I usually watch it a few hours after because of time zones from India. Amazing work at the AEW scrum, Kate. Smile back to work for me. Oh, Kate, smile back to work for me. Thank you, Bargov.
Thank you so much.
From India. All right. So here's our jukeboxes. Okay. So we got 3 for you. We got 2 more puns. Did they come in later? Perky Peter Avalon and Nip Sabian. We've already gotten Nip Sabian. Feeling Drippy with Perky Peter Avalon, Tom LaValle with Nip Sabian. Thank you guys. It's great. Okay. We only got 15 minutes here. Okay, here we go. Tiffany Stratton singing Wise Guy by Joe Pesci.
I'm loading it. Hurry up. Okay. I'm not doing the intro. Hey, paid out my ass. Treat all my broads like trash. You'll catch a blast if you move too fast. I talk with class. You don't have to ask. Getting everything by flashing and cash. Fighting and stealing. Don't kill without feeling. So I win casino before they start dealing. All about respect and intellect. As I'm scrolling. Sorry, there's so many ads. Only mess with the women that pick up the check. 2 supermodels, 1 on each arm. 1 chick's brunette, the other was blonde. I heard their fathers had stocks and bonds, so I effed them up and left them floating in a pond. Customary clothes from head to toe. Catch Joe, at plate sitting in the first row. Everybody follows when I'm ready to go. No need to show off. They already know. Toodles. I just assumed Killer Joe was our Samoa Joe. It made me happy.
Meet Norma says, it's a boob day. Yes, it is. Okay. All right. So let's see here. Electric Mayhem says, starting my favorite time of the year, spooky music season. I have multiple playlists. So jukebox for Darby Allin to sing Spooky Scary Skeletons by Andrew Goad. Okay. There we go. Spooky scary skeletons send shivers down your spine. Shrieking skills will shock your soul, seal your doom tonight. Spooky scary skeletons speak with such a screech. You'll shake and shudder in surprise when you hear these zombies shriek. We're so sorry, skeletons, you're so misunderstood. You only want to socialize, but I don't think we should. Because spooky, scary skeletons shout startling, shrilly screams. They'll sneak from their sarcophagus and just won't leave you be. Malachi Black. And then Tom the Valley wants Tony D to read the end of The Great Gatsby. Here we go.
I would also like that.
Gatsby believed in the green light. The orgastic future that year by year recedes before us. It eludes us then, but that's no matter. Tomorrow we will run faster, stretch out our arms farther, and on one fine morning, so we beat on, boats against the current, borne back ceaselessly into the past. Gabagoo.
We got Tiffany Stratton sings "The Purple People Eater" by Sheb Woolley.
Well, I saw one thing coming out of the sky. It had one long horn and one big eye. I commenced to shake it and said, "Oh, it looks like a purple people eater to me."
She muted herself. You're muted. Why? I can't hear you.
I don't know what happened.
Now you're back.
That's so
I
sad.
don't know what happened either. That's weird.
It must have been the one-eyed, one-horned purple people eater that came in and muted my mic. The one-eyed, one-horned flying purple people eater sure looks strange to me. One eye? Well, he came down to earth and he lit in a tree. I said, "Mr. Purple People Eater, don't eat me." I heard him say in a voice so gruff, "I wouldn't eat you because you're so tough. Just like me and my plunder match on No Mercy, Tiffany Stratton." Toodles! Got very specific at the end there.
Louisville wants Tiffany to recite the Cena drug scene from the movie Sisters. You can pick and choose what you want to say in this little transcript here.
I actually can't because we'll get demonetized.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna need you to send in something else. Sorry.
Yep. We'll keep it for next week. Robert Lyle says Al Snow Globes. Good night, SGS.
Good night.
Thank you. Al Snow Globes is very good.
Thanks, Robert Lyle. That's very good.
All right. Okay.
Are we 5 puns away?
Yeah. We're 5 puns away.
Okay, we don't have a ton of time, but I will say, for just 5 puns, you can make a white girl laugh at 69. Help a white girl in need who finds the number 69 hysterical. Send in 5 more puns for just $1.99 a piece. Oh my God, it's
Hello.
Ricky Rainbow.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm here.
Great
Hello.
to see you. I thought I might see you in Seattle, but I didn't.
No, I couldn't make it. I was backstage at the U2 concert in Vegas inside the Sphere.
How
I was just
it?
hanging out with my friend Bono and Edge. Not that Edge, a different Edge. I was like, we have to get the two of you together.
Oh my gosh, it would be amazing.
Edge and the Edge, just like hanging out.
With delay pedals on their guitar? To Metalingus, probably?
Ricky Rainboob. Also Ricky Rainboob. Vince,
Ian Riccaboni,
Steph,
what's up?
and Shane McMemories.
Guys, our telethon, we're just 2 more away. And then we'll fill up the little thermometer thing in the back.
Orion Ben wants Ricky Rainbow to sing Hunger Strike by Temple of the Dog.
As do I.
So
I would love to
then I will do that. So here we are. Ricky is so titillating, says
one more,
Lord
we hit our
Kev.
telethon goal.
Thank you. Hold on. Well, now it's going to be one more. Shall I wait for the last one before I start singing this song?
I think it would be very nice if you do.
All right.
Let's see if we can get one more in. Nobody.
You might be doing the drum roll for a while.
I know.
Don't
sad.
know. Rainbow puns.
Just one. We just need one
Just
more.
one
For
rainbow.
just $1.99.
Rainbow boob.
The Rainbow Connection.
The rainbow.
So, I came up with one right now.
That's good.
You can steal my work.
Do you want right? Oh wait.
There it is.
Oh, Ellie Albrecht.
That's
Like
uncomfortable.
Albright.
I know,
Albrecht.
but that's uncomfortable.
But Albright. But Albrecht.
I know, but she's one of ours. It's weird.
It is. Well, yeah. All right. Well, here we go.
But it is also, most importantly, noise.
Temple of the Dog. Hunger Strike. Here we are. It's me, Ricky Rainbow. Well, I don't mind stealing bread from the mouths of decadence, but I can't feed on the powerless when my cup's already overfilled. But it's on the table, the fire's cooking, and deforming babies while the slaves are all working, and blood is on the table and the mouths are choking. But I'm going hungry. Yeah. I don't mind stealing bread from the mouths of decadence, but I can't feed on the powerless when my cup's already overfilled. But it's on the table, the fire's cooking, and deforming babies while the slaves are all working. And it's on the table, the mouths are choking. I'm going hungry, going hungry. 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 There's an
stealing bread.
There's an instrumental break, and then it resumes with I'm going hungry, I'm going hungry, I'm going hungry, I'm going hungry. I don't mind stealing bread. Ooh, I don't mind. No, I don't mind stealing bread. I'm going hungry, going hungry, going hungry. Yeah, going hungry. All this talk of going hungry has me very hungry. I'd like a snack.
I could go for an egg roll.
I could go for a chicken breast sandwich. Ha 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 ha.
Where were you one pun ago?
I don't know. Oh, I am now accepting nominations to be the Speaker of the House for the United States House of Representatives, even though I am not a citizen of your great nation. But I do feel as though I would be a better candidate for Speaker of the House than former President Donald Trump.
I mean, you definitely have the hair for it.
It's true.
What legislative efforts would you be trying to pull forward?
I would legalize it. Whatever it is, I would legalize it.
Just legalize all of it.
Just legalize it. Whatever it is. You bring me something and say, hello, will you legalize this? I will say yes. Real Take Wrestling says, can't wait for both companies start advertising bigger and bigger names leading up to next week, next Tuesday. CM Punk on NXT next week confirmed. LOL. That would be funny.
I don't think CM Punk is going to NXT.
No, but it would be funny if he did.
It would be funny.
Yeah. Is there anything else we could talk about?
I've got lots of questions for you, Ricky Rainbow.
All right. Well, I'm willing to take 3 questions.
Just like the media scrub. I have practice in people saying they're going to take 3 questions and then actually taking 6. So, what was it like inside the globe sphere thing?
It's very spherical. But listen, I have lots of experience of tripping balls, and even without any, because I'm straight edge now. Have I told you this?
You haven't.
I'm straight edge. I've been straight edge for approximately 11 days, and it's going well. But I went to the sphere, and then when they started doing all the things around the sphere, I'm really glad I'm not on drugs right now, because if I was, then my brain would melt. So I would not recommend going in the sphere while on drugs.
I think that is good, sound advice.
Mhm.
Congratulations on 11 days. Did you watch Wrestle Dream?
Did I walk? No. Yeah, I watched. I watched my mate Zack Sabre Jr.
Oh, you did.
Yeah,
Are you
I went to.
a technical wrestling fan? You are.
Well, you know, I mean, he's a good kid. I went to school with his father, Zack Sabre Senior.
Really? Do you have any scoops you can give us? Because people have been wondering for years who this guy is.
Who Zack Sabre Senior is? Oh,
Yeah.
he's a good bloke. You know, he's sold to the earth. You know, he works down at the local factory. I don't even
Okay.
know what they make there, but he's a good fella.
You don't know
Right,
what they
he's
make
got-
at the local factory?
No, his nice wife Susan
Oh.
Sabre. She's a very nice lady. I always see her down at the shops.
So they're at the factory and the shops a lot, huh?
Yeah,
In Kent?
yeah.
So
that's
we
right.
know you've been to Kent.
Yeah,
But we
no,
don't know
I've
if you
been to Kent.
reside in
I'm
Kent.
I'm basically the mayor of Kent. I've been everyone in
Oh,
Kent
okay.
loves me there. Yeah.
Are you from Kent?
No, I'm not from Kent.
Okay. Where are you from?
Well, I could tell you that, but then again, you never know. I might be lying because I'm a mystery wrapped in an enigma, wrapped in the riddle, wrapped in an egg roll wrapper, wrapped in a tortilla. Jason Blair says, legalize it. You've got Jericho's vote. I don't like that Chris Jericho. He seems like not a nice man.
You don't
But-
like Chris Jericho?
No.
Do you like Will Ospreay, another Brit?
Oh no, Willie. He's a good kid as well. I like Willie. He's all right.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We just sometimes we'll just call each other and just say bruv to each other for like 5 minutes.
That's like
It's
my
great.
dream.
It's
That's
it's
awesome.
great. It's a great time. I like it. Anyway, that's the end of the show. You'll ask me 3 questions, and that's it. That's all I got.
Did you watch
So-
the scrum where that pretty blonde lady was asking such good questions to all the wrestlers?
No, I don't like scrums.
You don't? You don't find them scrummish?
No, I don't like scrums at all. No, I'm not a big fan of scrums. I went up back in my rock star days. I had
Sure.
to be in front of scrums, and I didn't like all those questions. You're a much better questioner than all those people who would ask me all those things about who I was dating, who I was doing drugs with, who I had murdered. I don't like all of those questions. So then I was like, oh, that is it. I'm leaving. No further questions. So I don't.
You were just there so you don't get fined. Okay, last one before I let you go.
What's
Will,
that?
will you reveal to us just maybe 1 to 3 of your exes? Because you have the big memoir coming out, I'm sure. Can you give us a little scoop?
No, that's what the book is for.
Okay.
right?
I just
No.
assume Madonna.
Well, yeah, Madonna's obvious. I mean, everyone's already seen me with Madonna many times, but here's one I'll give you for free. Princess Diana.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Big scoop. I thought you were
Yeah.
going to say the Linda, and we would all know who you were talking about magically.
Oh,
But
Yeah, no.
Princess
no.
Diana, you were
Yeah.
almost part of the royal family.
I was. Yeah.
I'm
Close.
looking forward to the memoir. You've got a sale from me.
Mhm.
You put that
Yeah.
on pre-sale. I'm the first order in.
All right. Well, that's it. We're gonna leave now.
All right.
Keep cool, gabagoogs.
Toodles.
Thank you.